Hi, this is Matthew High School Tech Coach Brendan Eit, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate some of the basics of using the ViewSonic ViewBoards that many of us have in our classrooms here at blah, blah, blah. Hi, this is Matthew High School Tech Coach Brendan Eit, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate some of the basics of using the ViewSonic ViewBoard. When you boot up your ViewBoard by pressing the power button down here, you should see this interface. This is the ViewBoard interface. There's actually also a Chromebox hooked up to your ViewBoard, and the Chromebox interface is very similar, should be identical actually to your Chromebook interface. You can switch between the two by pressing this button to bring up a shortcut menu, and if you press the separate menu down here, you can see your video inputs, and one of those HD inputs should be hooked up to your Chromebox, probably HDMI 1. So if we press HDMI 1, we'll see a preview of that video input. That's our Chromebox desktop. And if I tap on that desktop, it will open that up. So I'm going to switch back to the ViewBoard interface for right now, and then we'll demonstrate the Chromebox interface a little bit later. In the ViewBoard interface, these are your most frequently used apps. If you press the down arrow, you can see all of your apps, and you can change which 4 apps appear up here by dragging the app down or dragging an app up from your full list. There are just a couple of apps that I'm going to demonstrate here, but you can explore all of those on your own. But the ones that are probably going to come in the most handy would be My Whiteboard. So the My ViewBoard is the digital whiteboard. It's similar in function to Smart Notebook if you've used Smart Notebook software before. You'll see a sign-in here when you open it up. If you don't see that sign-in, it may say, please activate your software. If that happens, you need to contact Chris Roberts so that he can activate the software for you as an admin. You have several options to sign in. You can sign in with your Google account. You can enter your email and password that you used to sign up for My ViewBoard, or a really slick way is to download the My ViewBoard Companion app for iOS or Android and use the whiteboard QR sign-in. So you see there's a QR code here. Once I'm signed in on the app, I can just snap the QR code and it automatically signs me in on the board. We'll start with a quick tour of the toolbar in the My ViewBoard app. You can move that toolbar wherever you would like it using the 4 arrows button. So you can move it to whichever side of the screen works best for you. The marker tool is obviously a handy one, so that's this tool. On any tool in the toolbar, tapping it once selects the tool. Tapping it twice brings up a menu with additional options. So if I tap the marker tool once, I can draw. If I tap it again, I can choose my color, I can choose marker size, and marker opacity. Now, that marker will actually follow me around, so even when I choose other tools, for instance, the hand tool will allow me to scroll by dragging, but I can still, it can recognize the difference between the marker and my hand, so I can still use the marker to draw. And it also recognizes the difference between the pen side of the marker and the eraser side. The eraser, you might think would erase, but actually it doesn't. It does whatever tool you have open. So I can still draw. If I want to erase, I can use the eraser tool for that, but I can still draw with the eraser tool selected if I use the pointy tip, the pointy end of the pen. I can, again, choose this eraser size by tapping the eraser tool again. So tapping a second time always brings up a menu. That also allows me to erase a whole section by circling, except I need to use the other side of the tool. And it also allows me to just erase everything by clicking the trash can. Back to the hand tool, if I tap that a second time, I get an overview of my canvas. I get basically a map, and your canvas is infinite, so I can always scroll as far as I want to and start drawing again or start doing whatever else I have to do again. This is the shape tool. pretty self-explanatory. If you tap it again, it's going to draw a rectangle by default, but if you tap it again, you can draw all sorts of different shapes in different colors, different opacities, and so on. Undo and redo, very handy. And our text tool will allow us to type, tap it again, and we get nothing apparently. So I'm still finding out what all of these do as I make this video. Here we can save our work or open a viewboard that we've created before. So I'm going to go ahead and save this by clicking the disk. I can save it to the storage on my viewboard, but a better option is going to be using Google Drive. So this is integrated with your Google Drive. The first time you do this, you'll probably have to sign into your Google Drive. After that, it should automatically load for you. And so I'm going to give it a name, which is where my keyboard is going to come in handy. But if you don't have a keyboard attached, tapping on that brings up the virtual keyboard. You can connect a keyboard or mouse by either USB using these ports or Bluetooth. If you have a Bluetooth mouse or Bluetooth keyboard, you can connect those as well to the Chromebox interface, at least. And we'll show that in just a moment. So I'm going to call this sample and tap the check mark, and it should save the file. I can open that from any computer as well by going to myviewboard.com. So when you sign in on myviewboard.com and open your whiteboard, you can open anything from your Google Drive on any computer. And you can also, there's an interface, an online interface that also allows you to edit these documents in any computer browser. This tool allows me to import items from either storage or my Google Drive or a lot of other options, but Google Drive is probably going to be the one that you're going to use the most. So I can import a lot of different file types. I can import music, videos, images, IWB files, which should allow us to export smart notebook files and import them into this software, I hope. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I'm working on it. So, for instance, I can probably find one of my handouts to import here. So as you can see, I don't actually edit these, so I went to the wrong folder there. One would think that this would take you back a level, but apparently not. Not sure what the easiest way to go back up a level is. Also, when you have 1 terabyte of stuff stored in your Google Drive, it takes a while to load. So there we go. Let's try image as classes, which was the folder I really wanted. And we'll pull up a Chemistry 2 handout here somewhere. So that was totally not worth it, but you can import PDFs. You can import any image file, just about any file you can think of probably. I haven't really experimented with it much, but you can put lots of stuff in here. You can also actually import stuff from the web. You can actually put a browser window right in your canvas. So you can put a YouTube video. We can search YouTube videos here. Images. You can add a sticky note. And you can also, if you go to clips, there are videos, basically like pre-built curated videos that you can add by logging in with your MyViewBoard account. We're not going to do that right now. So that's a brief overview. Let's quickly show I can add pages to this. So right now I have 2 pages. I can add a new page just by tapping that button. And I can use this navigator to navigate between pages. A couple of other nice features. Here's the browser window I was talking about earlier. This bottom toolbar also allows you to navigate between pages using the arrows. and to add a page using that button. If I tap this browser button, by default it opens up my tiles, but whatever, and you can customize that on myviewboard.com. But you can also go to Google, you can go to any of these sources, you can do a Google search right here, or you can just type in any address, any website address right there. So let's see, here's my favorite NASA website. And so that is a live web page right in your canvas. So there's a lot that you can do with this. It's pretty neat, and there are some good videos on myviewboard.com that actually show you how to use some of the more advanced features in this whiteboard app. I'm going to close that now. I'll go ahead and save before I do that, and then we'll show how we can open that on the Chrome side. One other app that I want to show you here is your browser. There's a built-in web browser, or you can use Chromium, which is Google's mobile web browser app. And either one is going to work basically the same. I kind of like Chromium because it's more similar to Chrome, which is the browser that we use most. So this opens up a full-size web browser. It works just like any other web browser, basically. So you can access any website from here. So to get back to your menu, by the way, you can go to this sidebar, and you can actually access this. This cloud would actually be the whiteboard app, but if I press on the little house, it takes me to my home, and I can access whatever other apps I want there. So now we're going to switch to the Chromebox side, the Chromebox interface, which is basically like a completely different computer, which just shares this board as a monitor and as an input device. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to HDMI 1, and it looks like my Chromebox has shut off. It's gone to sleep, which is why this is not white, and I'm not seeing anything here. I can wake it up by a keyboard press or a mouse press if I have a keyboard or mouse, or I could go back here and press the power button to wake it up. And it's going to ask me to log in. So you're going to log into the Chromebox the same way you do with your Chromebook, with your Mattoon Google username and password. And the interface is exactly like your Chromebook. It's identical, really, in every respect. So see our toolbar down here at the bottom. You can hear my Pandora playing, possibly. So I'm going to tap on Chrome and pause that. I did not think that would actually start playing when I logged in. So you can see here we have our Chrome web browser. We can do the same things we normally would in our Chrome browser. Basically, this is literally just a giant Chromebook screen. Once you sign in, you can access all of your Google Drive documents here, and you can use this just like you would your Chromebook. If you have a mouse, you can actually mouse around this as well. If you don't have a mouse, you can tap, or even if you do have a mouse, you can tap, and you can, if you tap again, I think you can actually get the keyboard to open up, but maybe not. The keyboard, I don't remember if I've used the virtual keyboard on the Chrome side or not. It may only be accessible on the ViewBoard side, so I'm not completely sure about that. One handy feature is your content can go with you, whether you're on the Chromebox side or the ViewSonic side, and there is a My ViewBoard extension for Chrome, which you should probably download. So that puts a little cloud right up here in your extension toolbar. And when you sign in, I'm going to turn on the auto Google login, and then it's automatically going to log me in using my Google account. So you get these tiles, and they look similar to the tiles in the ViewBoard app. I can go to my home screen by pressing on the home. And this is also what you'll see if you log into myviewboard.com on any computer, on your Chromebook or any other computer. There are several apps here. The one that we've already demonstrated is the Whiteboard app. If I open that, I can get the Whiteboard app in my browser, and I can open the document that I just created, except I'm going to want to go to the Open instead of the Save. So there's sample board. Those are a couple that I created earlier. So I'm just going to open one of those actually. And so I can continue working on it here. I can save it from here. It's basically the same as the other app. And you can do this on any computer. So that's an easy way to get stuff from the ViewBoard interface to the Chromebox interface. All right, I think that's it for this video. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of background and a little bit of a head start on using the ViewBoard. Later, I'm hoping to demonstrate how to run a Google Meet and how to record a screen video. So ways that you could do synchronous and asynchronous learning using the ViewBoard with your students.